I'm gonna try not to let you down, because I know why you're here. But, here's what we're gonna do from now on about the selections of the items that you're gonna make. We're gonna stay 2 weeks ahead, beginning with this week right now. So, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna quick, and you have a piece of paper in front of you that's got your name on it. I'm gonna call the item off, 2 people, first 2 people do them, they're getting that item. Okay, so, paper broccoli, who wants it? Right here, these 2. Fill that in. Shrimp bisque. Right, we're fill that in on there. Shrimp bisque, right there, go coach. Lobster bisque, 2 people. Patrick? Lobster bisque, this is expensive, people. I'll make the other one if nobody wants it. Hey, Joe, we're making lobster bisque in 2 weeks. Country style clam chowder. Right here. Mike and, which one are you? Bill, we got twins here, guys, you saw them, right? We got the Blackfoot brothers over here in the corner. It's easy to get mixed up, you know? Right. New England clam chowder, right here and right here, okay? Fill it in. Roast corn chowder. Who wants it bad? Anybody? I want that. Guys, right here. Roast corn chowder. Put it in. Did you say you don't want it? Oh, you don't want it? Okay, there you go. Take it and okay. We're going to make holiday sauce today, and you're making white butter sauce if we have time. If not, we're going to do the white butter sauce the following week, okay? Why don't we go into the kitchen, and everybody can grab a spot, and we're going to go around where those stock pots are, and we're going to start talking about what's going on inside those pots. You don't need your textbook in your hand. Just leave it out here for now, unless you want it to write it.
What are you making, Joe?
The Mediterranean style stuffed eggs.
Probably need a whole one plus that. Electric crust on it. Okay, so go ahead, you guys make a couple of those each. Take your pick of flavors, whatever you want to use. So I'm going to give you something to eat that you will only get in life if you make it. You will not be able to go to the store to buy this. No one will ever serve this to you in their house. Unless they've been to this school, I guess. Or they've been like, you know? I have another piece or two in there too, by the way, that I want to relinquish to you too. That I had left over. Another piece like this that I had made for myself.
No, is that completely uncooked? Or just cured? Is that
Cured and dried.
cured and dried? Yeah, I think the camera would like to taste this.
And this is a filet?
This is filet.
That's delicious.
This is great. I'm spending money, of course. For antipasto at the house. Okay. Different things, shrimp, artichoke sauce, and blah blah. You know what I mean? Have you had this before, Brent?
No. Well,
That's what that beef.
I'm giving you the pizza. Right. What do you think of that? Somebody's been into this. I made 5 of it. Second, well, there you go. Okay. I did it too. Wrong way. Because of the expense of this, having it cut like this, it's like eating a piece of prosciutto. It doesn't have to be thick to be good. It doesn't matter how you present it. It's important. Really, you know.
Okay.
How heavily wrapped was that with cheese pulp? So no air can get to it? Or it's like
Well, you want air. Lightly wrapped is cool. Raspberries. This is Gruyere cheese. We need the Parmesan. Okay. There's it out there. Ben needs to be beaten up when he goes back to work.
No. Yeah.
Go back in the fridge.
There it is. Someone had it.
Raspberries? Bring like 5 raspberries is all I really need here. Capers, say, capers over there still?
Right here.
Let's try that veg peeler from down there, the red one. This is probably not gonna make churros because it just came out of the fridge, normally just needs to sit at room temperature a little bit. It doesn't mean you can't do it in chips though. Stick around the Parmesan chips either, as long as they're not too big.
you just kind of using your imagination how you're doing this with something's done Well, yeah,
I'm not using my imagination.
I agree. But I mean,
First of all, I'm not saying this is good or bad, I'm not saying anything about it. I'm saying that typically when you're doing stuff that's shingled or spiraled onto a plate, you're using odd numbers, that would be an unwritten law of visual goodness, I guess is the word. Since I'm starting out with either 3 or 5 or 7. Okay? And I'm just trying to synchronize the plate a little bit, that's all. We got olive oil here in the squeeze bottle?
Yep. Yep.
What am I missing on this? That's not olive oil, that's something else. What am I missing on here from the recipe? Garnish. Anything? Put a little bit of oil on there. See how the Parmesan chip works on there? And the nice chopped parsley? Well, this dish doesn't need too much more than that. Next week I'm getting a bag of this, a box of less expensive, lighter weight, throwaway pastry bags. And this, so if you need some, you can grab a half a dozen of them out of that bag and just take them home with what I have around the house. Buying cloth ones is okay, but you have to wash them and dry them and store them, and this is the way to go today, you know what I mean? Carol, you're keeping an eye on your pie shell, right?
You need shells, I need a shelf.
I'm going to go to these on because it's a nice touch, you know, but you see what I did with the Parmesan? You can also chop the Parmesan. You can take this slice and cut it into pieces like that. And sprinkle the big pieces on it too. Another way of doing it, you know what I mean? This is good cheese right here. Oh, this is Gruyere, from Gruyere, Switzerland. Okay, lay it on me, Carol.
Let's put it on the other table there. Put down. Put it right there. 2 minutes there. Carol, did you pick up the shell or on the table? Let's put it on like
And again, you're one of the odd number.
Yep. You want to make sure you use shallots? You don't need to. You can just put a little cream on it, reduce it, hit it with cold butter. Season it with your salt and pepper. You're not stretching. Starts to stick to the table like it's doing right now. At that point, if you keep rolling, you're stretching it. This is one of those things that you're better off having somebody show you how to put it in the house themselves. Go around this roll 3 different times. The first time is to anchor the pastry flush against the side wall of this shell. And that's at the bottom. It doesn't go like this at the bottom. It goes like this. You see what I mean? Right. A little too soft to handle, but I can do it when we get to it. You know what I mean? Make mine slack out of the dough. The second time you're going around, you're adding extra pastry to it because you're going to bring it up above the top of the rim. Unless you don't want to do that, then I recommend this side shell. You see what I mean? If the shell was that deep, I wouldn't. That's how high I let the bread sit. Now, this is the third time around. Both hands. so soft, for the done when you go put it in the freezer to get it cold before you start baking. Okay? We want it to brown a little bit on the sides, and pull away from the sides of the pan, so you can put it in the freezer. Okay, now we can cover it here for spinach. Put on a half sheet pan, back it in over here so you have big holes that have no backing. The concept here is you're anchoring the edge, so that's where you need to press it. No, I'm talking about pressing it against the edge, because that's what you're preventing from collapsing. This whole rice or pie weight thing is about protecting the edge. You see what I mean? The bottom protects itself, it doesn't. Okay?
Well, you can get it together, you can
Right,
get
look,
it.
we have the paper down here. I don't know where it's down in Christmas. We'll break it. Okay? Now, put that back in the oven. You're gonna cook the shell 80% cooked. See what I mean? Give or take. See? So this would always be the way in which one would assemble a piece of Lorraine. That is that you would par bake the shell to some extent. You would put all the dry ingredients in the shell, and then you would set it in the oven. Give me your mix, your thing, and give me a whisk. I got some cream right here, a little bit. I need some more cream. Out of cream?
I haven't seen any more. Excuse me.
Then we're down to 3/4 this morning.
How many eggs or eggs
Salt and pepper, the mixture is in the recipe.
Okay.
I used less than 3 cups that the recipe called for. You got pepper laying around? Those canopies look nice. The only thing you're missing is, Carol, get them a doily on another plate that size, okay? Taste that, Louise. How is it? Got enough salt? Okay, now normally, what you do, when you put your custard in the shell, watch out for this thing, it's hot right there. Shoot. Put that in there. When you come down here and put the custard in, you don't want to, this way you can put the maximum amount of custard in without having to transport it after you fill it up. Because then you get the custard still up inside the crust, you cook on the outside of the shell. You don't want that. So you put the custard in right down here. That's the max right there that you need to have it. You don't want it cooking on the outside of the shell. Okay? See, I didn't have to move it after I filled it up. Put the towel on this side. Yes, do it twice. Okay. Make sure it's your first time eating canopies in each case. Okay, now, here, try this trick here. As a way of putting a base on the canopy itself before we actually put the food on it. The cheese. You always want to use a canopy cutter that's one size down from the one that you used to cut the bread originally, because the bread has shrunk. If I use this to cut the thing that's over there, it's going to overlap the side. Okay? Put a piece of cheese in there. Slice of egg in there. The melon baller. Maybe asking a lot. No, not the ice cream scoop, the melon baller. Hold on.
potatoes.
Melon baller got disappeared somehow.
No, they used it on the potatoes.
Melon baller, you guys got melon baller over there? No, that was our melon baller. We're gonna use this as a last resort, okay? So obviously, if you're making this canopy, what you do is you mayonnaise 10 of them, if you're making 10 of them. Then you dip them, 10 of them in parsley, then you cut the cheese for 10 of them and lay all the cheeses on them. And that's how you make them. You don't make them one at a time. It takes twice as long. And you normally season the actual canopy itself with something like this away from the plate that's going to be served out. Okay? Okay, so that's 2 down. I said I was going to make 3 and then give you guys 2 to do. So let's just make 1. I don't know what we're going to make. Let's think of it in terms of the vegetarian. Okay? And the reason I want to do it like that, I don't know what I want to make, is I want you to know that you can make canopies like that. You don't need to have a strategy, and sometimes you need to, but you don't always have to. Sometimes if you're making canopies, you can just come up with a couple of canopies, you know? So let's pretend it's going to be vegetarian for a second, right? That's mayonnaise, that's what I'm about. What else we got laying around? We got scallion. We have spinach. What do we got around? What else we got?
Would you move that tomato out of the way? Thanks.
You pay twice as much for the same meat plain. Okay? If not
So
more
what are you
than twice.
starting with?
Huh?
What is that? What is
This time I'm waiting for
2 minutes.
Patricia. I did. I always do it. Just don't go. It's just a matter of when. I always remember it, but not necessarily at the moment when I need to. You see? That's a good line. I remember it, but not always at the moment I need to. I can remember that. That was what? No, we went over here. Okay. Okay, filet of beef tenderloin. come two different ways and two different sizes. They come 5 and up or 5 and down in terms of pounds. Be a 6-pounder, a 4.5 pounder, whatever. There's only a 10 to 20 cent a pound difference in the price of the 5 and up and the 5 and down. It would typically come two different ways. Peeled, which is what this is. And then what they call New York trim, which should be covered with fat. You rarely see what they call New York trim because people look at it and they want to buy it because it just looks like a piece of fat then. So it's typically peeled. So this is a peeled fillet. Now, every fillet, whether it be from beef or pork or veal, would all basically be the same structure, and all the same components, only in varying degrees of amounts, depending on the size of the fillet, okay? Tenderloin pork, which is only this big, that's a lot less of the same stuff, okay? In all cases of the beef tenderloins, there's two things called side straps that are on the side that are normally removed for what we call center cut grade A type steaks, but not have this left attached to this thing to be removed. Now you may have gone out sometime in your life and had a fillet that has no thing attached to it. Have you ever had one of those? That would be a grade B version. That's an economic implant on your plate. That's a place, wherever that was, that didn't completely trim your fillet because they sold you a 10-ounce fillet. They forgot to tell you 2 ounces of it was something you couldn't eat. That would be the side strap, okay? And I'm going to take that off right now. That usually just comes off pretty much by hand. See that? Now on the other side, there's another thing called the mini strap, which is right here. Some of them have bigger ones than other ones, and this is all they have right there. Okay? And on every one of these fillets, there's a piece of silver skin right here. The name of the game is basically to get the silver skin. Do we have a steel laying around here somewhere? Yeah, steel on the knife right there. Is there steel in there? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. This particular fillet happens to have a fair amount of fat on the back of it, so I'm going to take that off. I would normally not serve fillet with fat on it, but keep in mind, if you buy a tenderloin, it's got a lot of fat caked on it like this, it's a good sign this is a good fillet, because the measurement of the quality of all beef is determined by the amount of fat that it has in the beef, not necessarily on the outside and around it. But a fillet, which is a very lean piece of meat to begin with, is probably the leanest piece of meat on the animal. If it's marbled, that's how one determines the quality of it. The more marbling, the higher the grade. Okay? But I'm going to take this excess off. Patricia wants me to leave all the fat on, but I'm not going to. Alright. Let's just keep it kind of comes off just by peeling it down like that, see? A little bit of excess on the side there. Now, the silver skin. This is this stuff. This is tough and chewy. You don't want that on your steak. Here, we'll be doing a little dissecting to get just the fat out without cutting a bunch of meat off, see? Same thing on this side. We gouge that one a little bit, but that's okay. As one of my cooks would say, I only do that when you're watching me, chef. The rest of the time, they're always perfect. Okay. It's not what we told our parents or whatever. I'm going to make these mistakes when you're here. You're not here, the house is always clean. Okay. Okay, so that would be a fairly plain fillet right there.
Look, you think they look good?
All right. I really wish you weren't moving. You know what I mean?
Where are you going? Where are you moving? Why?
It's a long story, but yeah, I can't take the bar here. I moved to Colorado to my husband, and I took the bar there, and I started over there 5 years ago. Careers, so I just need to go back and do my family certification. You know, it's really nice to live, and I'll still be here.
From time to time, you're gonna come down to Florida, and you're gonna tell me before you come. You can say, I'm coming down with my husband, we'll be there next Saturday, and you have to go around 2. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna have lunch ready for you. That kind of thing. See what I mean?
You know why? Because there were like 3 restaurants.
Yeah, that'd be
Where? So, no, that'd be great. I'm just starting to get it, you know?
I know. That's what she's starting to have fun of this class.